The first notification appeared on a rainy Tuesday evening while I was walking home from work. My iPhone vibrated twice, and a message covered the screen. Unknown AirTag, detected moving with you. I stared at it for a moment before laughing. Someone nearby must have lost an AirTag. I dismissed the alert and kept walking through the crowded streets of downtown Seattle. 20 minutes later, the same notification appeared again. This time, the phone displayed a red line on the map showing that the AirTag had followed me from my office onto the subway and all the way to my apartment building. I checked my backpack, my jacket pockets, my laptop case, and even my shoes. Nothing. Before going to bed, I scanned my apartment for unfamiliar devices, but the phone simply repeated the same warning. The owner of this AirTag can see your location. The alerts continued for the next 3 days. Every morning the tracking line grew longer, proving the AirTag never left my side. I searched my car, emptied every drawer in my apartment, and even questioned my co-workers. Nobody admitted placing one on me. The strangest part was that the phone refused to play the AirTag's sound. Whenever I pressed one, play sound, it loaded for a few seconds before displaying an error message. It was almost as if the signal was coming from somewhere the speaker couldn't reach. That night, I reported the issue to the local police. The officer politely listened before shrugging. "It's probably hidden under your car or stuck inside your backpack," he said. "People use AirTags for harmless pranks all the time." I wanted to believe him, but something deep inside me kept whispering that this wasn't a prank. On the 4th day, the nightmares began. Every dream ended the same way. I woke up lying on a cold metal table while doctors stood around me in silence. One by one, they all looked toward my stomach instead of my face. Then, every monitor in the room started beeping at the exact same rhythm as my phone's AirTag notification. I always woke up drenched in sweat, just before someone whispered, "It's already inside you." I stopped sleeping, stopped eating, and barely left my apartment except for work. My co-workers noticed how exhausted I looked, but I couldn't explain the truth without sounding insane. That afternoon, my phone showed something it had never shown before. Instead of displaying the AirTag's location beside me, the blue tracking dot sat directly on top of my own location marker, as though the device wasn't near me anymore. It was me. I finally scheduled an appointment at a private medical clinic, hoping an X-ray would calm my fears once and for all. The doctor smiled politely as I explained the situation, clearly convinced stress was causing paranoia. Still, he agreed to perform a full-body scan just to reassure me. 20 minutes later, the smile disappeared from his face. He called another doctor into the room without saying a word. Both of them stared silently at the monitor before turning it away from me. I demanded to know what they had found. The older doctor swallowed hard and quietly asked a question that made every drop of blood leave my body. "Have you ever had surgery that you don't remember?" The older doctor closed the examination room door before speaking again. "Your scans show a small object near your lower rib cage," he said quietly. "It's metallic, but it doesn't look like any medical implant we've ever seen." My mind went blank. I had never undergone surgery in my life. I demanded to see the X-ray myself. The image showed a tiny circular object buried deep inside my body, no larger than a coin. It looked strangely familiar. My hands began shaking as I zoomed in on the scan. There, barely visible beneath the metal casing, was the unmistakable shape of Apple's AirTag logo. I laughed in disbelief, convinced it had to be a mistake, but neither doctor laughed with me. The younger physician whispered, "Whatever that thing is, it shouldn't be inside a human being." They immediately scheduled emergency surgery for the following morning. The doctors wanted to remove the object before it could damage any organs, but they couldn't explain how it had gotten there without leaving a scar. I returned home with strict instructions not to eat or drink after midnight. As soon as I stepped inside my apartment, my phone buzzed again. The AirTag notification had changed. Instead of warning that an unknown AirTag was moving with me, it displayed a message I had never seen before. The owner has updated this item's location. A second later, every light in my apartment flickered. My smart TV turned on by itself, filling the dark living room with harsh white light. Across the screen appeared a single sentence written in black letters. "Don't let them remove it." My heart pounded as I unplugged the television from the wall, but the screen stayed on. Then my phone rang. The caller ID displayed my own name, my own phone number. Confused, I answered without thinking. For several seconds, there was only heavy breathing. Finally, a voice spoke. It was identical to mine. "If they take it out, you'll never wake up." The call ended instantly. Every electronic device in the apartment powered off at the same time, leaving me standing in complete silence. Then, from somewhere inside my bedroom closet, I heard a familiar sound, a soft, electronic chirp, exactly like an AirTag being located. I grabbed a baseball bat and slowly opened the closet door. It was completely empty. The chirping stopped. Just as I lowered the bat, my phone vibrated one final time. Someone had used the precision finding a prime feature. A green arrow appeared on my screen, pointing directly at my chest. The distance indicator rapidly counted down. 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, 6 inches, until it disappeared completely. Then the phone displayed one terrifying message in bright red letters. AirTag found. Beneath it, another line slowly appeared as if someone were typing it in real time. "Now it's your turn to find the owner." I couldn't ignore the message anymore. The next morning, instead of returning to the hospital, I drove to the address linked to the AirTag's serial number, which Apple support had reluctantly provided after I reported it as a stalking case. The address led me to an abandoned biotechnology research facility on the outskirts of Seattle. Rusted security gates hung open, and broken windows reflected the gray morning sky. According to an old sign near the entrance, the building had been shut down nearly 8 years earlier after a mysterious laboratory fire. Yet the parking lot was strangely clean, as if someone had been maintaining it. As I stepped inside, my phone immediately connected to an unfamiliar Wi-Fi network called Project Echo. Before I could disconnect, a notification appeared. "Welcome back, Subject 17. I had never been there before. At least, that's what I believed. The hallways were lined with shattered glass and overturned medical equipment. Every wall was covered with faded photographs of volunteers wearing hospital gowns. As I walked deeper into the facility, I noticed something impossible. Every photograph showed the same face. Mine. Some pictures looked recent, while others appeared to be over 10 years old. My breathing became shallow. A dusty file cabinet stood half open near the end of the corridor. Inside was a folder labeled Subject 17. Active. My hands shook as I opened it. The first page contained my full name, my birthday, my fingerprints, and a sentence that nearly stopped my heart. Memory replacement completed successfully. According to the report, I had volunteered for an experimental tracking program years ago. But after the procedure failed, every memory of the project had supposedly been erased. The AirTag wasn't tracking me. It had been monitoring me ever since. Suddenly, every monitor in the laboratory powered on without electricity. The screens displayed live security footage of me standing in the room from dozens of different angles. Then, another figure stepped into view behind me. I spun around, but nobody was there. When I looked back at the monitors, the figure was still standing only inches behind me, smiling. Slowly, the screens switched to a pre-recorded video. A man wearing a lab coat appeared. "If you're watching this," he said calmly, "Subject 17 has remembered enough to reach the facility." He paused before continuing. The device inside your body is not an AirTag. We disguised it to look like one because nobody questions familiar technology. It's a biological locator designed to detect something we accidentally created. The scientist's expression changed from professional to terrified. If the locator ever becomes active, it means the host has found you. Before the recording could continue, the lights exploded one by one. Heavy footsteps echoed through the dark hallway outside the laboratory. They were slow, deliberate, impossibly heavy. My phone vibrated violently in my pocket as the AirTag interface opened by itself. The distance indicator appeared again, but this time it wasn't pointing toward my body. It pointed down the hallway. 30 feet, 25 feet, 20 feet. Whatever it was tracking wasn't inside me anymore. It was walking toward me. As the number reached 10 feet, a deep voice echoed through the darkness. "We've finally found each other." Then a towering silhouette emerged from the shadows, and it had my face. The towering figure stepped fully into the laboratory light, and every instinct in my body screamed for me to run. It wasn't wearing a mask. It wasn't a twin. It was me, older, taller, with pale skin and completely black eyes that reflected no light. It smiled exactly the way I smiled in family photos. "You're wondering which one of us is real," it said in my own voice. "The answer is neither." Before I could react, it lunged forward with impossible speed. I barely escaped as its fist crashed through a concrete wall behind me. I ran through the dark corridors while the AirTag interface on my phone updated every second. Distance, 15 feet, 12 feet, 9 feet. It wasn't helping me escape. It was helping the creature find me. The device inside my body had never been protecting me. It had been acting like a beacon. I reached the operating room, where the emergency surgery had originally been performed years ago. The room looked abandoned, but the medical equipment suddenly powered on as I entered. A hidden computer unlocked automatically and displayed the rest of Project Echo's classified files. My heart nearly stopped when I read the final report. The creature wasn't hunting random people. It hunted its original host heads every few years. Whenever it found that person, it copied their appearance, absorbed their memories, and took over their life, while the real victim simply disappeared. The tracker implanted inside my body wasn't meant to monitor me forever. It was designed to alert scientists whenever the creature got close enough to return. Then I discovered the final emergency protocol, written in bold red letters. The tracker can destroy the host, but only while it remains inside the original subject. At that moment, I understood why the mysterious caller had begged me not to let the doctors remove it. The creature burst through the operating room doors, smiling calmly as though it already knew how the story would end. "You've remembered everything," it said. "Now give me your life." It walked toward me while every light in the room flickered violently. I grabbed a surgical defibrillator, hoping it would slow the creature down, but the electricity passed through its body without causing any damage. Then I noticed the MRI machine beginning its automatic startup sequence. An idea struck me. I climbed onto the scanning table and activated the machine at maximum power just as the creature grabbed my arm. The powerful magnetic field locked onto the metallic tracker buried inside my body. Agonizing pain shot through my chest as the implant was violently pulled toward the machine. The creature suddenly screamed, a sound that didn't belong to any human being. Black cracks spread across its skin while the tracker glowed bright blue beneath my ribs. With one final surge, the implant ripped free from my body and slammed into the MRI magnet. The entire laboratory shook. The creature reached toward me one last time before exploding into thousands of black ash-like particles that vanished into the air. When I regained consciousness 2 days later, I was lying in a hospital bed surrounded by police officers and doctors. The abandoned laboratory had collapsed shortly after the explosion, burying every piece of Project Echo beneath tons of concrete. The doctors couldn't explain how a strange metal device had been embedded inside my body without leaving any scars. They called it an unidentified prototype and sent it to a secure government laboratory for analysis. Life slowly returned to normal, and for months, I believed the nightmare was finally over. Then one evening, while setting up my brand new iPhone, a familiar notification appeared before I had even signed into my account. Unknown AirTag detected moving with you. My blood froze. I opened the tracking map expecting to see the signal somewhere nearby. Instead, the blue line ended inside the government research facility where the implant had been taken. The location updated one final time before the screen went black. A message slowly appeared in white letters. Host destroyed. Transfer complete. Then my phone's front camera activated by itself, and for just 1 second, the face staring back at me wasn't mine. It smiled, before the screen went dark forever.